Anak ng, hindi ako nakapag-isip pa. Well, if you look at the movie title, the design of the movie title, it speaks a lot about the film. Rabid in our minds, when to describe what happened last year, is really a disruption of our normal lives. So, pag nakita mo yung title ng Rabid, di ba? Para siyang script. Tapos sa gitna, nasira siya ng letter B. I think that's how it feels like for me, na parang our sanity was challenged. Rabid represents what's crazy about it, but also the niceties that was destroyed by the pandemic.
First horror movie ko, and of course, sobrang grateful ako. I really feel blessed dahil yung first horror movie ko is directed by Erik Matti. Sobrang limited lang din po kasi talaga yung time na pag-shoot namin. Yung pressure kasi nandun dahil Erik Matti po, of course. Pero yun nga, kanina, hindi mabigat katrabaho ko si Direk Erik Matti. Yun nga, sabi ni Vance, very appreciative rin po talaga si Direk.
Ako nakatrabaho ko na si Direk before and sa chorus na po yun. And nalala ko that since baguhan ako, wala masyadong experience, wala masyadong knowledge about sa acting. Pero kay Direk kasi, nito niya explain sa akin as simple as possible. So, laking tulong, not just a good director, pero a great teacher din. And ano ba? All I'm trying to say is, pag si Direk ang kasama, everything is chill lang. Sobrang, parang hindi nagtatrabaho, sobrang enjoy lang sa set na.
Mga araw na ba ngayon? Pagaling ka na, Jay. Happy birthday to you.
Jay! Ano naman ganito, Jay? Jay! Charlie, come in! Charlie! Charlie, come in!
First episode for Rabid is kami lang ba pwedeng malasin? I think the pandemic brought on all of us the feeling that we all live in this world and we need to help each other. And of course, pagka-cynical ko naman, di ba? The question for the episode is, what if you end up helping someone out of the kindness of your heart and end up bringing so much horror and fear into your house? So, the second episode is set in a cave where the pandemic converted the world into a post-apocalyptic zombie planet. And we discovered two characters, a husband and a wife, with the husband trying so hard using vegetables to convert the almost zombie wife into a normal person again by feeding her vegetables. Siyempre, you can look at Rabid is about crazy people. You can look at the zombie as the crazy one. But you can also sense that desperate feeling of the husband as also a kind of craziness, no? Na parang yung desperation niya for the wife to heal. Now, whether it happens or not is for you guys to see and discover. The third one is the most fun, I guess, na episode. It's the episode of Ayeesha. Again, if we go back to the pandemic, what was the most noble profession that we found? It's the frontliners, the nurses. So it's the story of a nurse. But what if a nurse that doesn't really care about anything, she gets a dose of her own medicine when all of a sudden she discovers a patient who will make a living hell out of her day in the hospital. Nakakatuwa siya, exciting, daming habulan, gano'n. And then the last episode is ending of the episode. Again, it's hinged on an insight during lockdown. What is it? Everybody became a chef during lockdown. Halos lahat ng nawala ng trabaho, bigla na lang magaling na magluto, di ba? Na-discover lahat ng baul ng mga lola nila. Ito yung the best adobo, di ba? Even if 100 yung adobo na lumabas sa pandemic, di ba? So you have someone like Donna, her name is Princess, who was retrenched by ABS-CBN because it closed down. And then she's still looking for a job. But during the pandemic, nobody wants to offer her a job in the marketing department. So now she needs to switch gear because her GCash is only 893 pesos na lang naiwan. So she feels that she can be a good cook by just studying YouTube. That what it says, just because you're good doesn't mean bad things can't happen to you. In the real world, it can happen to you. So ganun siya. Wala tong kwan na. Rabid has no ghosts. Rabid has no monsters. It's all about the horrors of real people.
Sabi nga ni Direk, it happens in the real world. So, parang may realistic approach siya to how things are now in the real world. So, it's very important kasi parang it's like a wake-up call also to everyone na, oh, this happens. So, parang kailangan din tutukan yung mga ganong situation.
Yung mga pelikulang kagaya po ng Rabid, siguro isa rin po to sa reason kung bakit gustong-gusto ko rin po nga trabaho si Direk Erik kasi parang sa akin, ang vision ko rin or ang nakikita ko rin, kaya tayo nagpo-produce ng mga pelikula is because meron tayong kailangan sabihin at may kailangang malaman at may gusto tayong malaman na sinasabi natin through films. So, yung mga ganitong klase ng pelikula, entertaining siya pero it says a lot kasi yung pandemic kasi medyo nakakatakot yan. For example, nakakatakot siya. Merong time na parang ang hirap niyang pag-usapan because lahat ay parang nakakulong at nalulugmok sa pandemya. Pero kailangan natin siyang pag-usapan, kailangan nating harapin na ito yung nangyayari sa mga tao na pinaka naapektuhan ng pandemic. So may ganung mensahe din yung Rabid. Iba-iba tayo ng pinagdadaanan, yes, pero gaano kaiba yung pinagdadaanan ng mga iba pang tao na hindi natin kilala, kagaya niyan tanggal ng trabaho, ganyan. So iba-iba kasi talaga tayo ng pinuntahan ng pandemic, iba-iba ng burden, iba-iba ng problema. Kahit na iisang pandemic siya, pero iba-iba siya sa bawat tao. So siguro yun yung importance ng mga ganitong klase ng pelikula para masabi natin na may nangyayaring ganito. Panoorin nyo kami. Yun po, for me.
From a filmmaker's perspective talaga, syempre as director to, I wanted to do Rabid because I'm a big fan of, and yung mga bata baka hopefully narinig niyo na to. I'm a really big fan of O. Henry na mga books. Si O. Henry, yung mga short stories niya, nagkukwento siya. There's always a lot of irony sa mga kwento niya. There's a lot of stories that has a lot of irony in it na yung pwede mong pag-usapan right after you read a story. So same with this, there's always that ironic, hindi siya twist eh. Wala namang twist masyado yung Rabid. Pero there's this parang mapapaisip kapag labas niya na grabe, ganun pala yung nangyari sa kanya, no? Tapos ganito pala yung dapat dyan.
Napasok sa horror movie. Ang first movie ko po ito sa buong buhay ko. Siguro mga napanood ko sa iba, siguro itong Rabid na yun nga. Tulad nga sabi ni Derek na mas realistic siya. Mas nangyayari sa totoong buhay. So siguro mas maraming makaka-relate dito. Lalo na po ngayon nga may pandemic. Siguro mas makaka-relate yung mga tao. Kaya dapat talaga nila abangan.
Tatak Direk Erik Matti to eh. Ayun, nakakatakot yung saan papatungo yung mga desisyon ng mga tao. Kasi nga, at the verge of madness na sila, marami na nangyayari sa buhay nila. Tapos, meron pang mga ganitong klaseng mga problema na dadating doon sa mga kanya-kanyang characters. Tapos, iisipin mo, ano ba yung susunod na gagawin nitong tao na to base doon sa mga nararanasan niya sa kasalukuyan? At makakabuti ba yung mga desisyon niya o makakasama pa lalo para sa kanila?
Marami sa mga horror, parang may suspension of disbelief eh, di ba? Isususpend mo kasi may multo na lalabas or may monster, di ba? Ito talaga, I think we discovered then during the lockdown na ang tao talaga, mas nakakatakot yung tao eh. Dahil sa gulo na nangyari nung lockdown, di ba? And I think we've shown it here. No?
Nakita ko sa labas, nagmamalimos. Stranded daw nung lockdown.
Baka may COVID yun.
Pero nga negative. Sometimes you have to trust your instinct. Mukha namang mabait siya. Kailangan ko rin ng help dito. Bakit?
Kami lang ba ang pwedeng malasin sa buhay?
think I've talked about that to a lot of filmmakers over the course of the pandemic. I'm so passionate about filmmaking that I've never taken for granted the projects that I make. Never ko iniisip na, ito pantawid gutom lang to, so wala akong pakialam. I always made sure that when I look back, if I get really old, when I look back, I could stand by all the projects that I made. Pero I think what the pandemic taught us is now even more, di ba? Kung dati, before the pandemic, ang daming trabaho that came our way and we just grind it. Alam mo yung ginagrind mo lang na parang, gawa ko movie na ganito. O sige, tirahin ko yan. Ito, sige. Di ba? Kasi there's a lot to come by. Ang daming offers. Di ba? Kumikita ka. Di ba? Pero when the pandemic happened, what really set apart your work is when there's something that stands out from your body of work. Pag may nag-stand out sa body of work mo, you will never lose a job, even during a pandemic.
Ikaw ba yun? Hindi mo ako papansinin, ha? Hindi mo ako papansinin!
2020, sinara tong buong baba.
Alisin mo siya!
Sinunta ko sa room 207. Narinig mo yan?
Different.
Bizarre.
It would be a feast.
Matified.
Boom yung masasabi ko dito sa movie na.
Busog. Anak ng, hindi ako nakapag-isip. Mapapamura ka sa ganda. Sa 4 na kwento na yon, hitik na hitik talaga siya. 'Di ba? Kasi iba-ibang lugar, iba-ibang characters, iba-ibang tao, iba-ibang kwento, iba-ibang problema. Tapos pati yung mood niya iba-iba, no? Merong somber, merong frenetic, merong eerie. Alam mo 'yon, maganda siyang mix eh.
Hindi ko nga iniwan, di ba? Na-retrench nga ako. Nagsara nga yung ABS. Sure kang dito magpapatuloy yan? Baka may COVID pa yan.
Nakita ko sa labas, nagmamalimos. Naawa naman ako. Na-stranded daw nung lockdown.
Sige na, magpahinga ka na dito. Ako na bahala.
Wag! Patayin mo yan! Patayin mo yan!
So, naisip ko po, bakit kaya hindi na lang ako mag-business online?
Isang latang green peas, 2 carrots, tsaka isang latang evap.
Bakit ang tagal? Ito! Sige! Kayo mo! Kayo mo! Lumabas ka na dyan. Alam ko naman ikaw yung nananakot eh.
Mag-isip ka ng ibang gagawin. Dami namang iba dyan.
Turuan mo ng leksyon!
Ano? Ano?
Kita mo na ba yung tsura mo sa salamin?
Kailangan ko na!
Sans!
Jay! Jay! Ano naman?
Oh my God,